Hey guys, I'm Alistair from Trail & Kale, and this is my HOKA Speedgoat 5 review. So in this review, I'm going to be going over some of the key specifications of this running shoe, how it compares to the previous version, the Speedgoat 4, how it compares to similar running shoes on the market at the moment from HOKA and from some other brands. Then I'm going to go over some of the key features of the Speedgoat 5 that I really enjoy. Then I'm going to share my performance review, so how they actually perform on the trail and what they're actually like in real life. So forget about all those stats on paper. How do they really perform? And I'm going to share some video clips of me running in these shoes on my local trail route. I took them on a 16 or 17 kilometer run with about 600 meters of elevation gain. So I gave these guys a real one heck of a test. And at the very end of this video, I'm going to share whether I feel they are worth your money or not. Before I get into the key specifications then, how do they fit out of the box? Well, the fit is true to size. If you're familiar with HOKA running shoes, go with your usual size. You won't be disappointed, they will fit you very well. Very comfortable out of the box, as with most HOKA running shoes that I have been reviewing in the last couple of years. So definitely go with your usual size. Very consistent with On Running, Salomon, Nike right now. So yeah. Go with your usual size, you won't be disappointed. Comfort-wise, you won't need to break them in either. I just took them on a 17 kilometer, pretty challenging trail run for their first voyage mission, and they performed excellently, very comfortable, no complaints at all. Let's start with the key specifications then. So the HOKA Speedgoat 5 is $155, which I think is very reasonably priced. What are the shoes for? Well, these HOKA Speedgoat 5s are specifically for anything. They're all-terrain trail running shoes that will go over pretty much any terrain with ease. There's plenty of cushioning in there, which means they're also very good for all distances as well. They're very lightweight for a cushioned running shoe, weighing in at 10 ounces for a size US and men's 9, which is what I have here. There's a 4mm drop from heel to toe, so that's really nice. Get a great trail feel running in these shoes. And speaking to the width then, they are medium to wide width. So if you have medium feet, you're gonna love these shoes because there will be extra room for your feet to expand as you run, as they get hot during a trail run. Also, I'd say they're pretty good for narrower feet as well, because you can adjust these laces very easily. If you need a particularly wide version, they do exist in EE, which is speak for wide shoes. So check on their website, they do have a wide version as well. And then finally, the stability of the shoe is neutral, so very average. They will be great for most runners. And the cushioning is balanced, which means in HOKA speak, that's kind of in the middle in terms of cushioning. So it's not mega responsive and it's not mega plush, it's right in the middle. So it's a perfect blend for most runners. Now I'm going to share some of the key features of this running shoe that I really like. So the features that stand out when I'm actually running in them, and the things I feel that are better than the competition out there right now. So first off would be the midsole. So if you follow Trail & Kale, you'll know I'm a huge fan of HOKA Mafate Speed 4 when it comes to trail running. This is a very similar running shoe. I'll go into that in a bit more detail in a moment. The midsole is very well balanced. There's more cushioning than in the Mafate Speed 4. And you really feel it on those longer trail runs when you're running on hard, rocky terrain, for example, like I am here in California right now. So I love that midsole, and it's also got a late stage meta rocker, which means the rocker starts a little bit further back in the shoe. But that rocker gives you that really nice smooth kind of transition from heel landing to toe takeoff. Feels great with this midsole, which has a 4mm drop, like I said before. So you get a really good trail feel, but your feet are very protected from the midsole beneath. So I really like that. Energy return was good. Second feature that I really like is the Jacquard mesh on top. It's very breathable. I like to put my hand inside the shoe and blow through the top material so I can see how much airflow is going through. And it's very good on this shoe. So breathability on the upper and durability with that mesh is brilliant. Got tons of flex in there as well. And there are no points on the upper where it's digging into your feet because of the way it's been designed. Some shoes right now, I've been noticing that as your feet flex, there has been some kind of digging into your feet, but HOKA have nailed it. They've done a great job with the upper here. Third feature that I really like is the outsole with the mega grip. The traction on there with Vibram is insane. I first came across it on the HOKA Mafat Speed 4. This one has it as well. It's got the traction lug, which are the really deep lugs that just claw into trails when you're climbing and dig in when you're going on fast descents as well. So really the grip on this is unparalleled right now, except for the HOKA Mafat Speed 4, of course, and some of the Salomon trail running shoes with contra grip right now are doing very well with traction on steep downhills as well. So anyway, I digress. The outsole is just great. There's plenty of width there as well, so you've got enough surface area to grip into the trails, but not too much so that it's bulky. It's just a really nice happy medium there. Fourth feature that I really like is this articulated heel. You see it on a lot of HOKA shoes right now. What that does is not put too much pressure on your Achilles tendons. So as you can imagine, as you're running, having that articulated backward sloping heel support allows your Achilles heel to kind of flex a little bit more outside the shoe without having something dig into the back. So if you've ever had any issues with Achilles tendonitis, then you're going to love these shoes because they just allow you to run without any pain at all. I used to have that issue. I wrote a post recently that shares how I managed to get through it very quickly. So I'll put a link up here if you're suffering from Achilles tendonitis as well and you'd like to get back to running as quickly as possible. Definitely go check that out. Speaking of running in posts, we've written so many training plans on Trail NKL. I'm actually following a 6-week half marathon training plan at the moment and sharing all my vital statistics on Instagram stories right now so that you can see how that plan is making me fitter and making my VO2 max just creep up like crazy at the moment. So definitely go check our stories to follow that progress. And I'm also going to be putting a post together sharing the benefits of following a training plan as well. So check out the training plans, our Instagram stories, and stay tuned for that post. Next feature that I really like is the lacing system and the tongue. As you can see, hopefully the tongue has kind of got this shape here. It really helps it wrap around your foot. It's got this divot in the middle and it just wraps kind of like a gusseted tongue around the front of your foot. Very comfortable, and the lacing system just works, you know. At no point is there any or too much pressure on the top of your feet or any loose parts. You're able to adjust the upper perfectly to fit your feet. Performance review then. So these Speedgoat 5s are insanely good, so enjoyable to run on any terrain at any distance. So it's nice knowing you can have your workhorse shoe that you can rely on any trail. You can just grab this shoe and it will work really well. And I'm actually going to probably be doing some racing in these shoes this summer as well. So the run I took them on just yesterday was a 17-kilometer loop with 600 meters of elevation gain on very rocky terrain, mostly lots of slippery, loose scree, hard dirt, forest trails as well. It was very windy, so there were quite a lot of down trees, and I had to be very careful, you know, keeping my eyes up to make sure there were no trees coming down, but also down on the technical terrain so that I didn't trip. There are also a few moments on this new trail loop that I embarked on, which is a little bit more remote than I'm used to running on my other local trails. So there were parts of a trail where I was keeping an eye out for mountain lions, maybe pouncing on me, maybe a coyote or something like that. I don't know if you ever get that feeling when you're running on a new trail, slightly more remote than you're used to, and you're not sure about the wildlife, you're kind of on edge a little bit. So I had a few moments on that trail run where I was keeping an eye out for wildlife. Let me know in the comments if you ever think like that on wild, remote trails too. This trail loop kind of starts with some tarmac or asphalt where I have to get to the trails. These shoes perform very well on the road surfaces because of that extra cushioning in the midsole and the grippy lugs here as well. So really comfortable getting to the trails. My trail loop then starts with a pretty steep climb. Again, The Traction Lug Mega Grip Vibram outsole is just brilliant. The trails do kind of get like that, super steep, as you can see from the videos that I'm overlaying right now, that I do have to run on some steep terrain to get to some higher elevation trails, and these just claw into the trails very, very well. When it comes to flat running on flat sections, flat trails, again, very quick shoes because you've got that late stage meta rocker. I feel like there's a lot of efficiency going on, and the semi-plush midsole as well kind of allows me to get that nice feeling of bounce and propulsion. And also over longer distances, that midsole allows me to keep going because my feet aren't as tired from the pounding that they get on the hard trails out here. When it comes to downhill running, steep downhills on the Speedgoat 5 then, again, as I mentioned earlier, this traction on the outsole is brilliant. It just hooked in. I didn't have any slips at all, which is fairly rare on some of my trail loops out here. I can tell you now, the Speedgoat 5 is one of the best performing trail running shoes I have tried to date. So I couldn't be happier with the performance on these running shoes then, really. The only thing I could say is if you wanted a more responsive or a harder, more firm feeling to your shoes, then you might want something maybe with HOKA's Pro Fly midsole, which kind of allows for that, the dual density midsole, which has a softer upper layer and then it's kind of more cushioned underneath, which gives you a little more propulsion when you're wanting to run fast. But if you want that, that shoe does exist, and it's called a HOKA Mafate Speed 4. That shoe doesn't have a rocker on it, and it is a touch heavier. I believe it's 0.3 ounces for a size US men's 9. So certainly pros and cons, but right now, if I was to choose one shoe or the other, I would most likely pick the Speedgoat 5. Also, the Speedgoat 5 has a wide version, so if you have wide feet, then you're going to want to go for the Speedgoat 5, of course, in the wide version. There's also more variants, so you've got a spike variant, a low variant, a mid variant. So any kind of terrain that you're running, if it's snow or ice, then you're going to go for the spike, for example. If you're running hard, rocky, long trails, then you're going to go with the low, which is this one. And there's so many colors. There's tons of color variations which will suit pretty much anyone. The HOKA Speedgoat 5 is also $30 cheaper than the Mafate Speed 4 right now. So yeah, there's a lot of things pointing to the Speedgoat 5 over that shoe, but those are the two most comparable shoes right now for me. So I thought I should mention the Mafate Speed 4 anyway. Now, if you like this shoe, but you're looking for something more minimal, even more lightweight, then you should be looking at the HOKA Zinal. That's probably the best shoe for you. It's more lightweight. The traction on the bottom isn't as good. It's got a firm ride, so if you're looking to run longer distances, you might not enjoy that so much, just because there's not as much cushioning. But for short races, short training runs, then take a look at the Zinal. I think you'll be pleasantly pleased with that shoe. I've got some over here that I've stocked up on, so a new pair there that I haven't run in yet. I enjoy those for the nice short runs. They're very great shoes, very minimal. If you want something faster, like really fast trail running shoes, which will take you marathon distance, 50K for example, maybe even further than that, then you should be looking at the Tecton X2 from HOKA. Absolutely love these shoes. There is a carbon fiber plate running through the midsole. They're super responsive, some good cushioning in there as well, but very fast. And they also have good grip as well, although not as good as the Speedgoat 5 or the Mafate Speed 4. So this is how they all compare. And the Speedgoat 5 on top. So again, Mafate Speed 4 is a very similar shoe to the Speedgoat. Tread, very similar, using a mega grip. And the traction lug, Very similar width as well. Super similar fit, very similar ride. Like I said, Speedgoat 5's got more cushioning and it's lighter as well. FSP4, slightly more responsiveness and a faster shoe, but a little bit heavier and more expensive. So that's some alternative running shoes for you to look at in the HOKA lineup. If you're looking for another brand, maybe Salomon. My closest thing to this would be the S-Lab Ultra 3, which is this shoe here. Got contra grip on the outsole. Again, really nice shoe from Salomon there. Definitely look at that if you're looking for something a little bit more responsive than the Speedgoat 5, but in a different brand. Maybe check that one out. Also, another one here. Yes, I've got a huge pile of shoes down here. Occupational hazard, I guess. This one here from Salomon, Pulsar Trail Pro 2, great shoe. And even more minimal, check out this bad boy. S-Lab Pulsar 2 from Salomon, awesome shoe. Review dropping of this shoe very soon. This is crazy lightweight shoe. Anyway, I digress. Is the HOKA Speedgoat 5 worth your money then? Well, at $155, yes, it's totally worth your money. They're going to be the best $155 spent for you if you're looking for a trail running shoe that can do it all, give you comfort, give you speed, allow you to run long distances in comfort, and allow you to look good whilst doing it. I love the colorway on these shoes. It's totally trail and kill. Love the purples, the blues, and the vibrancy and some of the hits of the yellows and stuff. It just speaks trail and kill to me. I absolutely love them. Very comfortable and just make my runs more enjoyable. What more could you want for $155? Great running shoe. Can't recommend them enough. And as you can tell from the video, there aren't that many bad points with this shoe. Well, thanks for watching this review of the HOKA Speedgoat 5. I hope it gave you some insights on whether this shoe is for you. If you did enjoy it, please give the video a like and subscribe for more videos just like this. Thanks again, and I'll see you for the next review.